all of this is true. It's all true. That's oftentimes what comes out of demonic possessions. That's why Satan just doesn't go around possessing everybody. Far, far more effective to have human mercenaries who voluntarily take on the traits of demons and then go out into the world and do it for them. So let me put it to you this way as a thought exercise. Just hypothetically, what if an actual demon, okay, hoofs, just horrific, a demon manifested right in front of you and started saying, I hate you. Look at you, I hate you, I can't stand you. Started hurling obscenities at you. F you, I hate you. Well, you'd look at it and you'd be like, well, yeah, you're a demon. Of course you hate me. What else would you do? Would you be offended by the fact that a demon was standing there telling you that he hated you? Would your heart be broken? Would your heart be broken if a demon manifested in front of you and started telling you how much it hated you? No, of course not. What will break your heart? How about when a parent, member of the family, child, friend, co-worker, human being, turns on you, says, I hate you, look at you, F you. That'll break your heart. That'll break your heart. That'll do some damage, especially if you're not aware of any of this. Like, what is happening? What just happened here? That is how the enemy works. That's why this is so important. Diabolical narcissists need not believe in God. Satan doesn't care. He doesn't have to believe in the existence of Satan, demons, hell, anything supernatural. Doesn't have to have any notion that his actions are a vector of hell that is being, that the premise behind it is getting other people to lose their soul. Nope, most of them don't. There's relatively few, I would think, who probably even believe that there is such a thing as Satan or demons. Relatively few. This phenomenon is global. It's worldwide. It's everywhere. Satan doesn't care. All he cares about is getting as many people to hell as he can, keeping them out of the beatific vision. Doesn't matter. So don't get caught up in that trap that these people are all thinking about being diabolical and I'm going to be like a demon and this is all very satanic. The vast majority of them, that thought process is never even occurring to them, but it doesn't matter. Okay, 3 things that make a person a target for diabolical narcissist rage. Number 1, so in your own life and dealing people, or maybe with looking back at your life and saying, oh, that's what happened. That's what happened. Okay, rule number 1 when dealing with a diabolical narcissist. You never tell a diabolical narcissist that you love them. Why? First, they hate and disdain you for it because they're incapable of love. And they're self-loathing, so if you say that you love them, they think you must be absolutely insane to love something like them. That's that whole self-loathing dynamic. And at that moment, they begin targeting you because they know they can hurt you. You've just told them what saying I love you to someone is essentially doing is making yourself vulnerable to them and saying, here I am, here's my heart in your hands, you can hurt me. Number 2, never tell a diabolical narcissist what makes you happy or what you are grateful for, because they will take it as their sacred diabolical mission to take your happiness away from you. Are you looking back at your life and saying, oh my gosh, that totally happened to me? Yeah, this has happened to countless, countless millions of people. Number 3, never tell a diabolical narcissist that they have hurt you. Not only do they know they're hurting you, they've been planning it, they've been fantasizing about it, They will do it again. If you say to them, you hurt me, they say, oh, good, it worked, I'm going to do it again. And they will do it harder the next time in order to hurt you more and to prove that they can, to prove that they're above the law, to prove that they can get away with it. And again, keep saying this over and over again, they are not sorry. If they apologize to you, it is solely for the purpose that they want to bring you back so that they can do it to you again and do it to you harder and derive more of this diabolical rush that they get from it. Diabolical narcissists often derive far more diabolic satisfaction from the getting away with it than the actual attack or crime itself. Because they are so often charming and or powerful people, their coterie or subordinates will never confront them for fear of being the next to come under attack. Think about, the Clintons, think about these politicians, think about these people who are committing these crimes. Capital crimes, crimes against humanity, crimes against peace, day in and day out, and just keep getting away with it. That's the rush. That's the rush. Think about Bill Cosby. They all knew that he was raping those women. He was raping those women in his dressing room on the set of The Cosby Show. Everyone knew what was going on. They would see these women just, looped on drugs, staggering out of his dressing room, and all of those people, the production crew, all of the other celebrities who starred in that show, those people saw it, they knew what was going on, and they said nothing. And that was probably the most intense part of the rush for Cosby and people like them. This is classic oligarch behavior. Misbehaving openly in public and then sitting back and getting away with it when nobody ever confronts them about it, because they're just too charming and we sure like having them at table. Bottom line, I'll ask the question again, is there any such thing as a wicked, evil person? If diabolical narcissism does not constitute wickedness or evilness in man, what does? Nothing. If this isn't the definition of a bad person, then there is no bad person. Scripture is replete. Do a search online. Scripture is replete with references to bad, evil, wicked people. Come on. This entire civilization has been brainwashed in a matter of just a couple of decades. Wake up. All right, let's talk about homosexuality. Homosexuality and all forms of sexual perversion or aberrosexuality are caused by diabolical narcissism in various degrees. All acts of sodomy are rooted in anger and or envy. Let me say that again. All acts of sodomy are rooted in anger and or envy. So 2 of the demonic palette of 4, anger, hatred, jealousy, fear, anger and envy here. There is no such thing as a loving act of sodomy. The further a person descends into diabolical narcissism, the more perverse their sexuality becomes. Look at Charlie Sheen. Look at Charlie Sheen's descent, where, that guy wasn't gay. He just descended into a diabolical narcissism so intense that he could no longer derive sexual pleasure merely from, porn stars, girls. He had to start going into male to female drag queen transvestites, and then he went into just having sex with men, qua men. That's how he got AIDS. All of us, every human being, if they descend into diabolical narcissism, every single person is capable of descending into intense sexual perversion. I know that's an extremely challenging and bold thing to say, but it's true. The more you purge love out of your soul, and the more your mind is completely operating on anger, hatred, jealousy, and fear, the more sexually perverted you become. And it starts with acts of heterosexual fornication that are clearly not rooted in love because it's fornication, but are driven mostly by anger as the primary driver. Male homosexuality, men who were abused as children, their primary driver is anger. Many men who were themselves abused as children predate children and teens out of spite and a desire to vampirically destroy the souls of others. The fastest way to make a child into a diabolical narcissist is sexual abuse. Fastest way to create a diabolical narcissist. Get them as a kid and sexually abuse them. They will shut down. They will purge all love from their souls, even as prepubescent children, and that'll be the end of it. Most Musloid men are diabolical narcissists and homosexual pedophiles because man-on-boy pedophilia is just endemic to the Musloid culture. Absolutely endemic. If you haven't seen my Islamic Sexuality, A Survey of Evil video, watch it. Look it up on YouTube. Barnhart, Islamic Sexuality. It'll come right up. Watch it. They're all pedophiles. And why is that a demonic priority? Destroy the souls of the children immediately. So you raise the next generation. There's constant flow of these new diabolical narcissists. And it spreads, and it spreads, and it spreads. Male homosexuality, somatic narcissist, the buff gay gym guys. They're driven by anger and envy. Hatred of women as inferior, that's among the butch men, or trying to acquire by sexual congress the traits of other men to compensate for their perceived physical flaws or deficiencies. It's more common among the effete men. Male homosexuality in terms of cerebral or inverted narcissists, that's kind of another term for a cerebral narcissist. Their sexual perversion is driven by envy and anger, self-loathing, wanting to be someone else. Envy morphs into a perverse eroticism. Cerebral narcissists often, this is interesting, cerebral narcissists will often cycle between long phases of near asexuality and active homosexuality. So they'll go for a long period of time without acting out, and then they'll fall back, and then they might come back out of it again and just live as asexuals. Quite common among the cerebral narcissist set. Female homosexuality, completely driven by anger. Butch lesbians are driven by a hatred of men. Vampirism, many of the butch lesbians were abused by other butch lesbians like basketball coach, volleyball coach. It's very common. Chastity Bono is a great example of this. Chastity Bono started being raped by her nanny when she was, I think, 9 years old. And so it's all a very vampiric dynamic. Lipstick lesbians, feminine lesbians, they are driven by a hatred of men. Most of them were abused by men as children, the mother's boyfriend, the stepfather. And if you